errors in English class. And so far, we've dealt with a lot of common errors in English, and they've been so informative so far. We're going to take it steps further today in this class. My name is Jesse Josh. All right, we're going to be looking at a very common error in English called taking in, where people used to refer to pregnant. All right, so you hear, household men say, my wife has taken in. What is she taking? Oh, please. Anyway, you say, my wife has taken in, and or you hear others say, my wife is pregnant. All right, let me just put it straight. The word take in is in no way, synonymous with being pregnant. So I don't know where Nigerians got it from, or wherever you that says it got it from. So the right thing to say and the simple thing to say is that my wife or your wife is pregnant. Full stop. All right. Next one. This one gets me upset because I don't know why people are saying it. I don't know. It's quite very simple and easy to understand. You hear people say, I'm traveling to the abroad. Or I'm traveling to the overseas. What exactly is the article D doing in that statement? And abroad is a place, right? Or abroad is a place, right? Overseas is a place. It's used to show somewhere that is not within your geographical location. Good. So there's no need to put the article D, A, or an, whichever of them. So I am traveling abroad, full stop. I'm traveling overseas. That's also fine. The word or the article D, or any of the articles for that matter, cannot come before abroad or overseas. Just like you can't say, I'm traveling to the Nigeria, right? You can't say, I'm traveling to the Ibadan. So definitely, you can't say, I'm traveling to the abroad. I'm traveling abroad. I'm traveling overseas. That is the correct way to say it. Next one. Transport fare or fare. You hear, Mr. Sheyi, I need transport fare. You could also hear someone saying, Mr. Sheyi, I need a fare, or I need fare, right? Fare is the money you pay to travel by bus, or your fare could also be the money you pay to travel by plane, by taxi, or any means of transportation for that matter. The money you pay is your fare, right? And of course, those are all transport systems, okay? So permit us to say that you are creating a redundancy when you say transport fare, because a fare already connotes the fact that you are asking for money to take transport, all right? So don't say transport fare, just say I need fare. I know people even abbreviate it to say I need T-fare. The abbreviation does not make it less wrong. Transport fare, T-fare, all wrong. Just say I need fare to get to where I am going. Is that fine? All right. What's the difference between turn out and turn up? What's the difference between turn out and turn up? Okay, now let's go straight to it. Let's look at it in a sentence. This year's festival attracted a good turn up, or this year's festival attracted a good turn out. Which of them is correct? Let's analyze the word turn up and turn out first. The word turn out is used to refer to a number of people that attend a particular event. Okay? And the word turn up is that part of your trousers, the part of the bottom of your trousers that is folded inside. That's a turn up, right? So you cannot say there was a good turn up, or you guys should turn up for the event. No, you better say you guys should turn out for the event. So when you're talking about an amount of people that go to an event, right, it's called turn out. So the turnout was good or the turnout was bad. You cannot use the word turn up, because turn up refers to a part of your clothing that is folded inside. So if you look at your trousers, at the bottom part of your trousers, there's a part of it that's folded inside. That part of it, or your trousers, is called turn up. All right, so turn up is wrong. So you cannot say this year's festival had a good turn up. Rather, the right thing to say is this year's festival had a good turnout. Please take note. What's the difference between titled or title and entitled? Titled and entitled. All right. Example or examples in sentences. The first album was entitled Fresh Glory, and the first album was titled First Glory or Fresh Glory. Which of them is correct? Let's see the difference. Let's see the difference between title and entitled. Now, when you come to when you're talking about the name of a book or the name of a movie or the name of a song, both of them can go. All right. However, the word entitle means to give somebody the privilege or the power to do something or the right to do something. So, or not even necessarily giving the person. You say somebody has the right to do something or has the power to do something. The person is entitled. So, we are entitled to our salary at the end of the month, right? You will not say we are entitled to our salary. You say we are entitled to our salary after the month. However, you can also say the book was entitled Fresh Glory, or the song was entitled Come Back Again, whatever. So title and entitle can go when you're talking about the name of a book or a movie or a song. However, when you're talking about the rights of someone to do something or to have something, you say entitled. All right, so you say the government workers are entitled their incentives. All right, so that's the difference between title and entitled. Okay, the next one we're going to be looking at tonight or this night. Tonight or this night. Tonight or this night. Will you have dinner with me tonight? And will you have dinner with me this night? Which of them is correct? When you are referring to the evening period, referring to the evening period, you know, the time during the night or when everywhere is dark, grammarians have agreed that tonight is preferable. Note, I did not say it is. I did not say it is acceptable, or I did not say it is correct or is the correct word. I said it is preferable. So this night is also correct, but to sound a little bit intellectual, it is better to say, will you have dinner with me tonight, rather than say, will you have dinner with me this night? I prefer tonight personally, okay, rather than this night. So tonight, this night, same, they are both correct, but tonight is what? Preferable. The next one we're going to be looking at is toaster. So we already talked about, you know, the ability or the action of a guy talking to a lady. We said that action is not called toast, but woo. All right. Now, somebody who admires you or somebody who walks up to, you know, ask you out or to woo you is not your toaster. The person is simply your admirer. Of course, that would mean that you said no to the person. All right. So somebody who comes to you to woo you, right, is not your toaster. You say, that guy was toasting me. So that now your toaster be that. No, it's not your toaster. It's your what? Your admirer, basically. All right. All right. The next one we're going to be looking at is take or have. You're probably wondering, they're both correct words, no wrong spelling, nothing. Take or have. Of course, they are both correct, but they cannot be used in the same situation. All right. Now let's look at this example. Can you take the bill, please? Or can you have the bill, please? Now, both take and have can be used to mean to receive something from somebody. To receive something from somebody. They could be used to mean, so you say, I took it from him, right? So, they could mean to receive something from somebody, right? But they are not usually used in progressive tenses. So don't use taking or having, right? I'm not taking it from you. No, that's wrong. I'm not having it from you. No, I will not take it from you. I will not have that from you. That's correct. All right. You cannot use the word take and have in continuous form, meaning that you cannot say taking or having. I am taking it home. No, I will take it home. All right. The next one we're going to be looking at is unkept and unkempt. Now, this is a spelling error. People think that the word spelling for this word is UNKEPT, which is wrong. The actual spelling is UNKEMPT. So it's not unkept, it is unkempt. All right. So note the spelling is UNKEMPT, not UNKEPT. It's unkempt with an M, not unkept. All right. So when something is unkempt, it is scattered, it is not tidied, you know. All right. So that's that about that. Next one, upon all, despite all. Upon all, despite all. Her voice was shaking upon all her efforts to stop it. And then, her voice was shaking despite all her efforts to stop it. Now, the word upon all are two words that cannot go together. So, you have upon all and you have despite all. Now, upon all, when you use upon all to mean despite all, you are being grammatically awkward. There's nothing like upon all. It's despite all, or in spite of all her efforts to stop it, her voice was still shaking, or her voice was still shaking despite all her efforts to stop it. All right? Is it unsignificant or insignificant? Unsignificant or insignificant? Example, he made her feel insignificant by calling her a fool. Or he made her feel insignificant by calling her a fool. The right prefix to go with the word significant is not on, but in. Not on, UN, but what? In. So insignificant, it is actually insignificant and not unsignificant. All right? Unsignificant is totally wrong. Next one we're going to be looking at is it actions speak louder than words, or actions speak louder than voice? Now, I'll take it again. Actions speak louder than words, or actions speak louder than voice? Now, the first thing you have to know about this is that this word or this phrase or this statement is actually an idiom. Okay? So, if it's an idiom, there's something going to be quite awkward about it, right? So, it doesn't have to follow your normal rule of English, okay, or your rule of grammar. But what's the actual thing to say here? The actual thing to say here is action speaks louder than words. Not action speaks louder than voice. Not your voice, but words. 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 All right? So it means that what people do is actually shows more or is either more obvious than what people say. Okay? The next one we're going to be looking at is the word vie, or the word as in contrast to the word fight. Vie and fight. Vie, fight. You don't fight for a post, you vie for a post. So you hear people say, oh, he was fighting for the post of governor. Actually, that's wrong. You don't fight for a post, you vie for a post. To vie means to, compete or contest or, go after something that you want, usually a position. So you don't fight for a post, you vie for a post. The next one we're going to be looking at is vulgar language or raw language. Which of them is correct? So you hear a lot of people say, oh, no, don't say that here. It's vulgar language. Are they actually correct? Let's see. The word vulgar, as regards language, is used to say that you are rude, actually. People don't know. But when you say somebody is actually being vulgar, you are trying to say the person is very, very rude and insulting. But when you say the person is being raw, people usually want to say that somebody is being raw, and then they just use the word vulgar. Actually, vulgar doesn't mean what they think it does. Vulgar means when you are being insultive or you are being, rude. But when you say, oh no, don't use that language, you are too raw, Raw means you include a lot of sexual details. So when what the person is saying has a lot to do with sexual words, you say the person is being raw, not the person is being vulgar. Vulgar and sex have nothing in common. So when you say the person is being vulgar, you're saying the person is rude, the person is insulting, okay? But when you say raw, the person is using a lot of words or language as regards, sexual, lexis and structure. Now, I hear this idiom a lot, and it gets me wondering if people actually just say their own when it comes to idioms, right? Because I really don't understand. I hear them say, what is good for the gender or what is good for the goose is good for the gander. That's not what the idiom actually says. That was not the original idiom. I think somebody just put it there so that people don't get confused. And no, it is an idiom. You are supposed to get confused. Like, it's not supposed to tell you the meaning on the surface. Okay? So, it is not what is good for the goose is good for the gander. The actual idiom is what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. Alright? So stop saying what is good for the goose is good for the gander. The word good was never in that idiom. I think people just added it so that for better understanding, but that's not what the idiom is. The idiom is what is sauce, S-A-U-C-E, what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. So please do not replace sauce with good when you are using or when you are talking, when you are saying this idiom, okay? Leave the idiom the way it is. All right, let's look at another very, very common but very, very deceptive error. Who or whom? I know people basically think or say it's the same thing, but of course it isn't. Who or whom? Who did you give it to? And whom did you give it to? Now, if you have a very good understanding of pronouns, this should not pose much of a problem to you. But if you don't, then of course you just know where the problem is. You have a faulty foundation on pronouns. The word who can only be used in the subject position, and the word whom can only be used in the object position. So with what I just explained, is it who did you give it to or whom did you give it to? Yeah, whom did you give it to? Because you are referring to the action. Whom there is an object, the receiver of the action give, right? So it is not who did you give it to, it's whom did you give it to. I know this one is going to be extremely very hard for people to change because everybody is used to who did you give it to. But the right thing to say is whom did you give it to. Like I explained, whom can only be used in the object position and who can only be used in the subject position. All right. There's a difference between where and from where. Where and from where. When you say, do you say where did you come from? Or from where did you come? Okay. Now, when you use the word from where, you are saying at what the point of origin. But when you use where, you are saying place. So if I say from where do you come, I'm probably talking about your state of origin. But if I say where do you come, I'm talking about where are you coming, like place. Do you get? So if I say it like this, from where do you come, just know that I'm talking about your state of origin. But if I say where do you come from, I'm saying probably where do you live? Where are you coming from currently? Are you coming from Bodija or LA or whatever? So where signifies place. From where signifies point of origin. Okay? So please note, when somebody asks you from where do you come, that's a state. But where do you come is a place, basically. Let's look at this word or this statement. Don't go there, it does not worth it. Or don't go there, it is not worth it. Is it does not worth it, or it is not worth it? I think basically the first one already sounds very, very awkward to me. Maybe to me, but you cannot say it does not worth it. You say it is not worth it, right? The reason you cannot use does is because worth there is an adjective, right? You only use primary verbs with adjectives. Okay, so you use is, and so on with adjectives. So you cannot use what? Does. All right? Does. You cannot use does. So it is not worth it. Don't go there. The next one we're going to be looking at is is it with regard to or with regards to? Now this is because there are a lot of prepositions that you can use with this word regard. We have in regard, with regards. Okay, so now is it with regard or with regards? Now please note that when you're using the preposition with, it is always with regards to, and this means in connection. You're talking concerning something. Now there's another one we call as regards or regarding. Okay, when you say as regards something or something, you are saying in connection or concerning someone or something. Are we together? So it is actually with regards, not with regard. So if I say I see Mr. Bode, or I says Mr. Bode with regard, you don't say with regard. So you say with regard. Now that with regard there means respect. But if I say I'm talking to Mr. Bode with regards to, you are saying in connection to or concerning something. Let me take that again. With regard, I talk to him with regard. I talk to Mr. Bode with regard. That means I talk to him with respect. But if I say I'm talking to him with regards your situation, I'm saying I'm talking to him regarding or concerning or in connection with your situation. All right? So that's the difference. With regard, respect. With regards, concerning or in connection with someone or something. Next one. Let's look at this sentence. The whereabouts of the stolen car are unknown. The whereabouts of the stolen car is unknown. Now, please note that anywhere you use the word where, this word whereabouts, it must always have an S. It does not have a singular form. It always has an S. So, whereabouts is whereabouts. There is no whereabouts without an S. It always has an S. So, and when it has an S, the fact that it has an S does not mean it's going to take a plural verb. Okay? So, the whereabouts with an S of the car is unknown, not are unknown. The whereabouts of the car is unknown. Alright? Let's look at this common word. Whet your appetite or whet your appetite. Now, people have assumed that when they talk about whetting your appetite, it is the usual spelling of whet, W-E-T. Nope. The first thing you have to know is that this is an idiom. So you do not whet your appetite as in W-E-T, but you whet your appetite as in W-H-E-T. Alright, so this is a spelling error. You don't whet your appetite. It's not W-E-T, whet your appetite. It is W-H-E-T, then your appetite. So whet your appetite, not whet your appetite. Alright, now we hear this a lot when someone dies, alright, or when we lose someone. You say we are going for the wake keep, or we are going for the wake keeping. The word wake keep or wake keeping is very, very wrong. There is nothing like wake keep or wake keeping. The right thing to say grammatically is we are going for the wake. Now I know that sounds very, very awkward and weird, but that's the right thing. There is nothing like wake keep, W-A-K-E-K-E-E-P. Some people even say W-A-Y-K-E-P. So there's nothing like wake keep or wake keeping. We have what? Wake. This is the, you know what a wake is? A wake is, the amount of time people spend awake to mourn the dead. All right? It's an occasion before a funeral where people gather to remember the dead. Okay, so it is not wake keeping, it is not wake keep, it is what? Wake. Yesterday or yesternight. yesterday or yesternight. Please note that the word yesternight does not exist. It does not exist. So they arrived yesterday or they arrived yesternight. They arrived yesternight is wrong. Totally wrong. Totally ungrammatical. There's nothing like yesternight. So what you have is what? They arrived yesterday. The next one we're going to be looking at is young, the word young lad or lad. I saw the young lad this morning, or I saw the lad this morning. Let's analyze this. The word lad already connotes that that person is a young person, usually below or under 30s, right? That's who a lad is, right? Under 30s. Anything above your 30s, you're no longer a lad. So you cannot add the adjective young to the word lad anymore, because the word lad already connotes that the guy or the person in question is young. So the word young lad is a redundancy. Please do not say it like that. So if you want to say lad, just say lad. There's no need adding young. Now you can add other adjectives like handsome lad, beautiful lad, whatever. But you cannot add the adjective young. That is a redundancy and therefore is ungrammatical. The next one we're going to be looking at is year anniversary or anniversary. So LearnCity is marking its 10-year anniversary, or LearnCity is marking its anniversary. Now, what people don't know or have failed to understand is that the word anniversary already connotes a yearly celebration. The word anniversary already connotes a year. So a year must have gone by. So it is a redundancy to say LearnCity is celebrating its 10-year anniversary. Just say LearnCity is celebrating its 10th anniversary. There is no need to put year before anniversary, because anniversary already means a measurement of time in years. So LearnCity is celebrating its 10th anniversary is the right thing to go. Is the right thing to say, rather. All right?